Do you know that your birthday can tell you deep things about yourself? Your personality, problems, and life's purpose are all based on your spiritual archetype. This number is more than just a code. It tells you important things about your archetype. The old Buddhist texts that have these codes link numbers to the spiritual world and the forces of the universe. Watch this video to find out more. Imagine that your spiritual birth date tells you about your life's purpose, the habits you have, and the things you do. Using old Buddhist texts to back up this information can help you learn more about yourself. Are you ready to connect with your true self and find your destiny? This page goes into more depth about your spiritual journey and how to find your life's purpose. We will look at how numerology and Buddhist teachings can give you deep insights into the journey of your soul in this article. It's not enough to just know who you are. You need to awaken to a new consciousness that can guide your choices in the future. Don't miss a video before we start. Please subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. To show that you like this video, click the like button in the comments section. Type 0 in the comments to let me know you don't like it. It will help me make videos for you that are better. We can begin now. Even though you now have a better idea of what your birthday number means, there is still more to learn about it. This number is not a coincidence. See it as a code that tells you everything you need to know about yourself and your journey. Through it, you can learn about who you are and what your life is all about. This code is made up of spiritual archetypes. What is the most interesting part? A lot of people have kept this secret their whole lives. Are you ready to hear what the universe has to say about you? Understanding the meaning of your spiritual archetype changes the way you look at life. Think about times you had a gut feeling about something or felt like you were making the same mistakes over and over again. These events are not happening by chance. They are signs of a bigger cosmic plan that you can figure out with your birthday number. How cool is that? Figuring out your archetype lets you see patterns in your life that you hadn't seen before. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to have a full picture of your personality, including your weaknesses and strengths, as well as knowledge of what causes your problems and how to fix them? Finding your archetype is like getting in touch with a past self in a secret way. This realization can help you make decisions that are true to yourself, guide you when you don't know what to do, and change the way you see the world. You are close to finding the answer to this mystery. In what way can you find this archetype that controls your life? In the next step, the birthdays will be put into groups based on their vibrations. Each category shows a possible spiritual path you should follow. Read on to find out your archetype and what it means for your life's work. You are about to realize something very important that will change your life. Now that you know how important it is to find your spiritual archetype, let's look at each one in more depth. Each birthday number has its own energy that fits with a certain type of person. Strong symbols stand for these archetypes. Each one has its own traits that can tell you a lot about your personality, your strengths, your weaknesses, and even your life purpose. To change your journey, you need to find out what your archetype is. Those born on January 1st, September 9th, 2017, or May 25th have the eagle archetype as their spiritual journey. This archetype stands for freedom, leadership, and having a vision. People who are in tune with the eagle's energy can see past what is obvious and see the big picture when others are focused on the small stuff. They like to be on their own and want to fly high, exploring new lands and making new trails. Because they want to be free and find new things, they naturally become leaders and often inspire others to do the same. The eagle archetype does, however, come with some problems. The constant need to fly higher can make people feel alone or cut off from the people closest to them. To connect deeply with those around it, the eagle needs to learn to sometimes come down from the top of its mountain. It's important for people with this archetype to find a balance between freedom and connection so they don't feel alone on their journey. You need to learn how to fly high without losing your balance. People with the eagle archetype have an amazing ability to change. These people are very good at reinventing themselves, just like the eagle that grows new feathers and talons to keep hunting and staying alive. They know how to grow and get stronger from everything they've been through, even the hardest things. Because of this, they are often seen as sources of ideas. People look up to them because they show that you can start over if you have the courage to change. The Eagle archetype's main message is about finding a balance between having a big picture view and being in touch with the present. This type of person likes to reach new heights and do great things. Their biggest challenge is not getting lost in their own search for power and freedom. They need to learn that it's important to lead and see beyond, but it's also very important to connect deeply with other people and their own feelings. This need to fly high needs to be balanced with the need to connect with others and be understood. If they don't, they might feel alone, even in a crowd. The Eagle tells these people that they need to be leaders who know how to be a part of something bigger without losing who they are. You are the Tree of Life archetype if you were born on the 2nd, 10th, 18th, or 26th. This archetype stands for strength, resilience, and a strong bond with nature and the basics of life. People who carry the energy of the Tree of Life are able to stay strong even when things go wrong, giving those around them assurance and safety. They are the ones who hold other people up and are always ready to offer a word of comfort or a hand to help. But just like a tree needs deep roots to stay alive, these people need to learn how to give and receive in a healthy way. People who care for others often forget to take care of themselves because they have so many responsibilities. People who deeply want to help and protect others can become emotionally worn out if they don't learn to let go of things that aren't theirs to carry. For those who live under the Tree of Life archetype to be happy and grow personally, they must learn to let go and trust that others are on their own growth journeys as well. People with the Tree of Life archetype are naturally drawn to counseling and healing. They have a lot of deep, intuitive wisdom that they've gained from the hard things they've been through in life. These people know how to deal with different situations and use their past experiences to grow and thrive, just like trees do with the soil and weather. People often see them as a safe place where others can go when things are going badly. But the Tree of Life needs care, like learning how to ask for help when it's needed in order to grow fully. The Tree of Life archetype's main message is about finding a balance between taking care of others and taking care of yourself. People who are this archetype have to be careful not to make their own lives too hard by taking on too many responsibilities and forgetting about their own needs. They need to know that in order to keep growing and being a source of strength for others, they need strong roots that feed them from the inside out. If they don't, they might feel worn out, exhausted, and cut off from their essence. Being truly strong means finding a balance between giving and receiving, between taking care of others and yourself. The Diamond archetype is for people born on the 3rd, 11th, 19th, or 27th. This archetype stands for clarity, purity, and the amazing power to change when things get tough. Just like a diamond is formed in the Earth's core under a lot of pressure, these people are changed by going through hard and intense things. The Diamond archetype is known for people who can bounce back from problems and make them stronger and more beautiful. Their true nature shines through most brightly when things are hard. That's when they can inspire everyone around them. Even though the Diamond archetype is very bright, it also comes with a lot of tough problems. This type of person often feels like they have to be perfect or strong all the time, which makes them hide their weaknesses. Yet it is in the Diamond's flaws and cracks that its pure light shines through. A crucial part of these people's growth journey is learning to accept their weakness and see their flaws as part of what makes them beautiful. They need to be true to themselves and show off their scars as badges of honor and reminders of their journey. The Diamond archetype person naturally wants to find the truth, both inside themselves and in the world around them. They can't stand lies or hypocrisy, which makes them natural leaders in situations that need honesty, clarity, and integrity. Their clarity and honesty can cut through the darkness and be a lighthouse for people who feel lost. But this dedication to the truth is sometimes taken the wrong way, as harshness or coldness. So it is very important for them to learn how to find a balance between seeking the truth and showing empathy and compassion. The Diamond Archetype's main message is about how strong you can be when you are open and honest. It can be hard for people with this archetype to balance their need for perfection with their ability to accept their flaws. If they don't see that the holes in their lives are what let the light in, they might feel alone and always be trying to please others or prove their worth. The diamond shows that the only way to be truly strong and beautiful is to accept yourself as you are, flaws and all. People become living examples of change and growth for everyone around them when they learn to shine without being afraid. The wolf archetype is for people born on the 4th, 12th, 20th, on or after the 28th. This archetype stands for loyalty, instinct, and the smart choice to live with others. People with wolf energy are known to be very close to their friends and family and to want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They naturally look out for others and can understand how groups work, so they can do what's best for the group. People like these have a strong instinct and a sharp intuition that tell them when to act and when to wait. One of their best traits is loyalty. They always stand up for the people they love and keep everyone safe. Even though they are loyal and strong, wolf archetypes find it hard to balance their need for connection with their need to be alone. While wolves tend to stick together, they can also act like lone wolves when they need to. This type of person may feel torn between wanting to fit in and wanting to find their own way. This problem can cause people to have inner conflicts because they have to choose between going with their gut or following the group's lead. For their spiritual growth and inner peace, they need to find this balance. People with the wolf archetype are very good at changing and adapting when things go wrong. The wolf can quickly adapt to new situations and see the good in bad ones. They are deeply in touch with their feelings and naturally can figure out what people are trying to say without words. In times of uncertainty, this makes them great leaders because they can handle tough situations with wisdom and clarity. It's important for this archetype to keep their guard up and not become too protective or controlling, though, because that can close down people around them. As a wolf archetype, you need to find a balance between being loyal to your group and being loyal to yourself. People with this archetype have to be careful not to forget about themselves in the midst of their responsibilities to others. They might feel overwhelmed and angry if they can't find a middle ground and always give more than they receive. The wolf shows us that we can be a part of something bigger without giving up who we are. This archetype needs to learn to honor both their role in the community and their own personal journey in order to find true peace and happiness. In this way, they become natural leaders who show that it is possible to be strong and independent, while also knowing how important it is to work together. For people born on the 5th, 13th, 21st, or 29th, the Phoenix archetype is what you are. This archetype is a strong representation of rebirth, change, and strength. People who are in tune with the energy of the Phoenix can change themselves over and over again throughout their lives. These people have an unbreakable spirit and the courage to face the hardest situations, just like the mythical bird that rises from the ashes. They are driven by a fire inside them that never goes out, no matter how many times they fail or lose. In the end, they always come back stronger and faster. The Phoenix archetype does, however, come with some problems. This need for change and transformation all the time can make people feel unstable or restless at times. People who fit this archetype may find themselves in cycles of destroying themselves and being born again, which can be tiring and stressful. They need to learn how to balance their desire to be born again with their need to be stable and at peace with themselves. The Phoenix's hardest part is figuring out when to stop fighting the fire and let it clean them up and make them stronger without going too far. People born under the Phoenix archetype can get other people motivated by telling their stories of how they overcame problems. Most of the time, they are seen as models of bravery, determination, and strength. Their journey of constant self-change shows that you can start over no matter what. These people are great at leading during crises because they know how important change is, and that in order for something new to come into being, something old has to go. But their strength can also scare or push away people who don't understand why they need to change all the time. The Phoenix archetype's main message is about the power of change and rebirth, but it's also important to keep things in balance during this time. People who carry this archetype have to be careful not to get lost in the never-ending cycles of breaking things down and putting them back together again. They might lose their way and feel emotionally drained if they can't see that change doesn't always have to come from pain. Being able to rise from the ashes isn't the only thing that makes you strong. Being able to choose when and how to change is also very important. When these people get good at this art, they become role models who show others that we can be born again if we know where we want to go. The snake is your spiritual sign if you were born on the 6th, 14th, 22nd, or 30th. The snake is a strong sign of change, wisdom, and starting over. Individuals with this archetype have a strong bond with the natural cycles of life and naturally comprehend how things change and grow. They can change with the times and know how to shed their skin when they need to. This lets them keep growing. This archetype also has a magical and intuitive energy that helps them deeply understand the mysteries of life. But there are also big problems that come with the serpent archetype. Because it changes things, it can be both a blessing and a curse. People with the energy of the serpent may be drawn to things that are always changing, which can make them feel unstable or like they don't have a place to land. The snake needs to learn how to balance its need to stay stable with its ability to change. If they can't find this balance, they might feel like they're lost or unable to commit to a single goal or direction. People with the serpent archetype have a strong intuition and a mind that can think critically. They can deeply sense the energies around them and figure out what's going on with people and situations. This makes them natural strategists who can see past what seems to be true and make plans based on that. They are very good at reinventing themselves, but they should be careful not to become too mysterious or distant. Because it can use its knowledge to heal, guide, and change not only itself, but also those around it. The serpent is truly powerful. The serpent archetype's main message is about how wise it is to know when to stay the same and when to change. People with this archetype have to be careful not to get lost in the constant changes and stay away from the fear of them. If they can't find a balance between new experiences and stability, they might live a life of extremes, either diving headfirst into new things or pulling away from everything. The serpent teaches that real power comes from being able to change without losing who you are, to value what stays the same even when you have to. When they do this, they become real masters of change and show everyone that the way to be wise is to change without losing who you are. The horse archetype is for people born on the 7th, 15th, 23rd, or 31st. The horse stands for freedom, independence, and a strong will that can't be broken. People with the energy of the horse are known to always be on the lookout for freedom and to go their own way. They are daring and always looking for new things to do. They don't like being limited or controlled. People who fit this archetype value their independence and want to see the world, always moving toward the unknown. But there are also big problems that come with the horse archetype. People with this need for independence may not want to make commitments or feel trapped in situations that need stability. When they feel like their freedom is in danger, they are more likely to pull away, which can hurt their relationships and personal growth opportunities. For the horse, it's hard to find a balance between their need for freedom and their desire to build roots and deep connections, which are also good for their spirit. When it comes to following their own rhythm and running freely toward their dreams, people with the horse archetype are truly inspiring. People naturally look up to them and want to live their lives with honesty and bravery. A lot of the time, people who fit this archetype have a lot of inner strength that keeps them going even when things get hard. Horses need to learn how important it is to take breaks, look around, and enjoy the people and moments that are part of their journey. Being free and connected at the same time is what the horse archetype is all about. People with this archetype have to be careful not to get lost in their constant desire to be independent while also avoiding the fear of losing who they are. They might feel lonely if they can't find a balance between being free to run and being present. They'll always be on the go, but never really connect with anyone. The horse shows us that real freedom means being able to pick your own paths and also knowing when to stop and build something strong. People like these show that it is possible to be free without being alone when they find this balance. If you were born on August 8th, 16th, or 24th, your spiritual archetype is your animal. The dragon is a symbol of strength, change, and the ability to bring together different ideas. When someone carries the energy of the dragon, they are very strong and magnetic, which can make people admire or fear them. They are strong because they are passionate, good at leading, and really want to find out about mysteries. The dragon isn't happy with what's on the surface. It wants to dig deeper, find the truth behind what things look like, and change anything so it can reach its full potential. The dragon archetype does, however, bring a lot of challenges. Because they have so much power, these people may struggle with the urge to be too bossy or controlling. Some people see their natural strength as anger or stiffness, especially when they feel like their power is being threatened. Instead of trying to control or trick the people or things around them, the dragon must learn to channel this potent energy for their own and others' benefit. People who are dragon archetypes are very good at changing themselves and leading others through times of change. Some people can see things that others can't, and they're not afraid to fight for what they think is right. The dragon is also a sign of being smart and wise. People in this group often have sharp perception and can see past what is obvious, but their intensity and need to be in charge can make it hard for them to get along with others if they don't learn to balance their strength with understanding and empathy. Being wise and strong at the same time is what the dragon archetype is all about. People with this archetype have to be careful not to let their need to be in charge make them miss other people's needs and chances to work together. If they can't find a balance, they might end up being alone or face opposition from people who feel suffocated by their presence. The dragon teaches us that real power doesn't come from being in charge, but from being wise, sure of yourself, and able to turn disagreements into opportunities to work together. When they do this, they become strong forces for good that can inspire and change any place they are. It's time to learn how to use what you've learned about your spiritual archetype to improve yourself and your spirituality. It's important to know how to work with these energies to reach your full potential. Each archetype brings its own gifts and challenges. For instance, if your archetype is the eagle, it's important to find a balance between your long-term goals and your connection to the present. Or if you are a phoenix, learning how to change without having to kill yourself all the time can make your life more peaceful and balanced. But how does this work in real life? The first step is to accept your archetype completely, including all of its strong and difficult sides. This means being aware that if your archetype makes you too controlling, it means you need to work on trust and giving up control more. There is a chance to connect deeply without giving up who you are if your archetype is about a never-ending search for freedom. Step 2 is to do things every day that make the good parts of your archetype stronger and the bad parts less severe. For wolves, for example, learning how to be alone without feeling alone might be very important. For people with the dragon archetype, active listening and meditation can help them balance their need for harmony and their need to be in charge. You need to find a rhythm that works for you and lets your archetype shine while also making your life steady and peaceful. Being able to use your archetype as a guide for your choices, relationships, and spiritual growth is what the real journey is all about. When you are aware of and use your archetype, it helps you grow in powerful ways. Watch the video to learn how to get better at this practice and how to use it to your benefit. Are you ready to use what you've learned about your spiritual archetype tomorrow? Now is the time to use what you've learned. I'll show you how to use the energy of your archetype in your daily life in a way that helps you grow as a person and as a spiritual being. The first step is to pay attention to yourself. Watch out for the times when the hardest parts of your archetype start to show up. You may notice that as a wolf, you tend to be too protective or controlling. Take a moment to notice these times without judging them and use them to work on balance and acceptance. The second step is to carry out daily rituals or habits that support the good traits of your archetype. For the eagle, this might mean taking time every day to meditate and think in order to keep their vision clear without losing touch with the present. Visualization is another very useful technique. During the day, picture yourself embodying the best traits of your archetype. Think of yourself as the phoenix rising without having to destroy everything, or as the horse finding freedom in a deep connection. Visualization can help you change your mind so that it works with the best version of yourself. Finally, don't forget that the journey is still going on. You don't just work with archetypes once and forget about them. It's a daily way to learn more about yourself and grow. Be open to going back to your archetype, discovering new parts of yourself, and growing over time. You'll see how learning about archetypes can change your life by giving it more balance, clarity, and purpose. Put what you've learned about your spiritual archetype and how it can affect your life to use now that you know what it is. As always, getting to know yourself is a journey, and figuring out your archetype is just the start. As of right now, you have a strong tool that can help you make decisions, improve your relationships, and grow spiritually. Thanks for being here today. Please feel free to contact us. Tell us what you learned today and how you're going to use it in your life in the comments below. We care about what you think, so don't be shy about telling us. We feel very motivated and encouraged when we read your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it and found it useful. Thanks for your support. It lets us keep making good content for you to learn from and be inspired by. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.